Welcome back to yet another episode of the Pat and Play podcast. It's episode 18. We have got Balin back in the house because he is on cloud nine. And we got Jude, who is here, whether it's wind, sunshine, rain, you're here all the time. Jude. Going to do the usual. We're going to run into some stocks rising, some stocks falling. We've got quite a lot today. To be honest, I think there's probably the largest pool to select for stocks falling, player, club, manager that we've had in a long time. So if we overlap on stocks falling, I'm going to have to conclude that there's some telepathy going on here because I have a feeling we're going to be very different on stocks rising and stocks falling today, but let's check it out. Why don't we start with you, Balin? I have a feeling I know where you're going to go with this, mate, but stocks rising this weekend.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it, guys. This is 3 dubs in a row. There's only one way to go, man. And it's got to be Manchester United. I can't believe that I'm saying this. Literally like a month ago, it felt like the wheels were starting to fall off. But here we are, like a month later, we beaten Liverpool and we beaten Brighton. And Brighton over the years have just seemed to be like our kryptonite, honestly. So to see us get a convincing win against them as well and to score 4 goals in a game as well, my stock's rising, definitely Manchester United.
Okay. So my ambition to not have overlapping stocks falls at the first hurdle. Jude, what's your stock rising?
For me, Man United were a contender, an honorable mention to them. But my stock rising is all 3 promoted teams. I don't remember when last all 3 promoted teams won in the same game week. I don't think that's happened in a long time. So shout out to them. Are we going to get new teams relegated this season?
I was thinking that as well. I was looking at the table and I was going, wait, the bottom 3, where are the promoted clubs? This is where they're supposed to be sitting in the table, but no.
And you know, the current teams in the relegation zone are not looking good. Their situations are not looking good.
No. Did you see the Wolves situation where like the fans were fighting with the players after the game, getting into a confrontation with the manager and stuff?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Not great, mate. Not great.
It's not looking good. Yeah.
My stock rising for this week was also going to be Man United, to be honest. But particularly, I think almost Man United beating Liverpool wasn't as big a surprise for me as Man United beating Brighton. The fact that we're all on the same page about that might be a little bit bizarre, but Man United really come through for me, in the big games this season. Like when you played us, you were really good. When you played Liverpool, I thought you were really good.
Even last season.
Eh?
Last season was the same.
Very similar, yeah. And then against the smaller clubs, it's almost like you couldn't keep the momentum up, you know? You do well, then the next weekend, it's back to the same old story. And so I think a lot of us, Jude and Linz, on the last podcast, I think the 3 of us were very much on the same side here, which was Man United are gonna screw this up and we're going to be back to square one again with Man United. But massive stocks rising to the boys there in red. I thought it wasn't just that you won, but I thought that was one of the best performances I've seen from Man United in a while. Mbuma was cooking. Cunha was cooking. Defensively didn't look as bad. I know you can see the 2, but you know, that's the kind of thing Brighton can do to you. But I thought, wow, yeah, I'm investing my money in Man United. Maybe it's going to be a better season than it was looking. And I did see the great computer predictor that tries to predict the likelihood that a club's going to win the Premier League, which I think is rubbish, by the way, because it changes every week. It's like, what's the point in a model that changes every week? But Man United went from 3% likely to win the title to 4%. It's an improvement, guys. Anyway, stocks falling. Let me start off, actually. I've got one. Arne Slot's tactics is my stock falling for this game week. And I got a specific reason why. And it's not just that Liverpool have lost again and let's all jump on Liverpool. And I mean, let's all do that anyway. But the specific reason is because Slot called out after the Frankfurt game. He was like, the reason why we won this is because Frankfurt they played the ball on the ground. They didn't hit it long. They don't go for the long over the top into space. And I heard him say that in the press conference. And I was like, I don't know how wise it is to tell everyone that you know the problem, but you're unable to fix it. Because in the game,
they know the problem.
Yeah. Your job as a coach is to say, okay, there's a tactical problem. we've been figured out. Now we've got to come up with a mitigation. What's the next step? What's the next look of Liverpool to get past the fact that people are just knocking it long past Van Dijk and past Konate into space and running runners off the backs of the fullbacks? So how do you stop that? Well, shifting one of your fullbacks inside, like Arsenal do, like City do, like a lot of clubs do, even United with this sort of back three setup, closes that half channel space. And I just don't know why, you know, that sort of thing around if you make the same decision expecting different consequences, then it's insanity. I forget the exact quote.
Yeah.
Slot, change it. If you're being beaten in the same way every single game in the Premier League, change it, dude. That's your job. So for me, I think Slot might have won a league last year on Klopp muscle memory. And now,
100%.
now he's being
He's being
exposed.
found out now. 100%.
Yeah, so for me, Slot. Not Liverpool, well, Liverpool as well, but Slot in particular. But yeah, what about you, Judy? What are we saying for stocks falling?
My stocks falling is my opinions. This is my formal apology to Lyle Foster and the Foster family. I am sorry for doubting. My opinion says more about me and why I'm not good at betting. I said that Lyle wasn't going to score. He scored a last-minute winner. I also said that Haaland was going to break Vardy's record. He went on to not score this weekend. So in light of that, and me always getting things wrong, I hope you continue to not score. Thank you. I actually wrote that out.
That's hectic, man.
The Foster family better be listening.
I obviously got it wrong, but what a moment for Lyle Foster to score the winner for his team that furthers or distances themselves from the relegation zone against a relegation rival, if you want to call them that.
Yeah.
It was a classic game of a 6-pointer between two teams. And yeah, I think those 3 points are very crucial to Burnley's season. So well done to him.
That's a good stock rising, that is, mate. And I had to say...
Stocks falling...
stocks falling. Yes, stocks rising for Foster, stock falling for you. But when I saw the goal go in, I looked at Clolo, and Clolo looked at me, and she was like, Jude's take. And I was like, yep, we're going to call it out. Anyway, Balin, where are you?
Well, one shout out, Lyle Foster. Always nice to see him on the score sheet. My stock's falling. Just to add a further nail into the coffin to Jude is going to be Chelsea, man. I don't know what's going on there. You know, I look at Chelsea's recruitment and I remember in the beginning of the season thinking, oh my goodness, these guys are bringing in all sorts of top talent. But as of right now, when I watch Chelsea, outside of like Reece James, and I think in the beginning of the season, João Pedro and obviously Cole Palmer, I don't really see, and okay, maybe Caicedo as well. I'm not really seeing the quality come together and what they've been able to assemble. I just feel like they've gotten a lot of, not mere players, but that's what it's looking like at the moment. Sure, Garnacho comes in, gets his goal, but after that, contributes absolutely nothing. And obviously, he was bad. Like he was terrible. And looking like that 40 million price tag now, looking a bit heavy. I'm glad that we're finally able to scam Chelsea back. Well, Mason Mount's performing now, so it was actually some good business there, but that's a story for another day. And every time they play, there aren't very many players on the pitch that I look at and say, oh my goodness, wow. Maybe that youngster, Estavao, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's one that from time to time gives me that little glimmer of hope for Chelsea. But outside of that, I mean, Gittins and Toe and like all those guys, no one really seems to have hit the ground running. So my stock's falling Chelsea.
Yeah, the wide players have definitely had a difficult time, but I'm assuming that Judy's gonna go on, man.
I have some things to say, but we'll save it for just now.
Why don't we start with Chelsea then? Why don't we just segue right into the games and chat a little bit about Chelsea straight off the bat, Judy?
I think for me, a lot of the players didn't perform very well on Saturday. I also think Enzo Maresca got some stuff wrong.
Do you think he got wrong?
His substitutions and kind of his starting lineup, I think when you don't have Cole Palmer in the side, he is your creative outlet, right? If there's no Cole Palmer, you play your second most creative player, and in my opinion, that is Esteval. I know he played 90 minutes against Ajax, but if you have no other creativity, you need to play him and just risk it. It doesn't matter how young he is. I think he's good enough to start in the Premier League. He's good enough to be our creative outlet. And then with the substitutions, there was a point in the game. So we started building up with 3 at the back, with 1 in front of the 3. And eventually Reece James tucked into midfield. So there was like a box in our build-up at the beginning of our build-up. And when that happened, he took off Achiampong and put on Tosin. And I don't think Tosin fits that kind of a build-up, in that when you build up like that, you're very susceptible to counter-attacks. And Tosin's not your guy. If there's a counter-attack on its way, he's not going to be the one to save you. I think Josh Achiampong has a better skill set at that. He's quicker. I think he's a better one-on-one defender, in my opinion. And also with the substitutions, in all of that, Esteval was eventually moved to the 10 role, where he wasn't seeing a lot of the ball. And I think Esteval needs to be on the wing to bring out that creativity. And then we got counted, and that was.
Can I just say the final goal there? Like, when you look at the big pit, there's a view which shows the big picture almost of the whole field at that moment when the Sunderland player picks the ball up and starts shielding. Yeah. And I'm just scowling at Tosin and I'm going, help your centre-back partner. Nick the ball. That's your job.
Yeah.
And he just stands there and waits for the layoff to 3 Sunderland options who are running in to smack.
I think it was Chalobah that was just waiting.
Oh, it's Tosin. Yes.
Tosin was on the player. Yeah. It felt like 2 minutes, I promise you.
2 minutes of him holding the ball now.
But yeah, Enzo Maresca and the players, there was no player that stood out for me in terms of performing well. I think that everyone was poor on the day. This is also like our second proper loss of the year, essentially, since the Fulham game, I think. Bayern Munich being the other one. All the other ones, there was like red cards and other factors. But yeah, props to Sunderland. They did the things.
What a team. Wow.
Yeah.
They're riding a real wave of momentum at the moment. I was looking at the celebrations of the players when the goal went in. They had a lovely view. I think it was Sunderland or Granit Xhaka posted it onto Instagram, and you just see like the celebrations that, oh man, when a club is vibing, you can't stop that momentum in a way. And they look like they're really vibing. Awesome to see, to be honest. I love underdog stories. It's a great bit of sport, to be honest, is that underdogs always have an opportunity to do things like this. And how the heck that they are in the top 5, I have no idea. But yeah. Any comments on the Chelsea performance from you, Balin?
Yeah, I think that just literally going back to what I said, no real performance. I don't think anybody in that game stood out for Chelsea. And I think ultimately, if Sunderland stay in it, they get the result that they deserve.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. Stay in the game and wait for your opportunity. Yeah.
That's it.
Talking about staying in the game. Actually, they didn't stay in the game. That's a very bad segue, guys. Liverpool. Let's chat about Liverpool. Another loss. And we've now gone from a position where just a few weeks ago, like a month ago, Sal, I think it was, in our group chat said, are they running away with it? Or is the league over or season over? Something along those lines. And I think...
I said that as well before Sal comes at me and says it was actually me. It was probably me. I don't know. Yeah.
Club profiling. It's like racial profiling, but it's just opinions from Man United fans. Yeah, I think Liverpool's a really interesting one because I watched the game and I'm almost feeling like if Slot was really brave, he might just make the decision to bench Isak, and maybe that's the brave move, to keep Ekitike as your 9 and start benching your 100 million players until your team settles and then bring them in slowly again. So bench Verts, bench Isak, keep Gakpo at left. Salah. Yep. I mean, did you see he removed all of his Liverpool?
Yeah, from his Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
what's that about?
Apparently, he did not like the benching.
Is that as deep as it is? I don't think it's that deep when players remove their stuff from Instagram.
It's not that deep, but it's deep. Like you sat there and you thought about it, and you've probably got a couple million followers. It's not my Instagram page, not your Instagram page. The moment you're Mohamed Salah and you play for Liverpool and you remove a couple of pictures of you playing for a particular team, it's a statement.
That's the thing. I think we think of it almost like a rebrand, like we're on our phones. But for Salah, he's not even touching that Instagram account, right? It's being managed by a social media agency. So the only reason this happens is if he goes to his agency and says,
100%.
do something, I want to send a message. Get rid of Liverpool, get it out of my about, get it out of my profile picture, get rid of the photos. And to do that as like Liverpool's one of their biggest legends, I guess, for the last couple decades.
Definitely.
That's big. That's big. What I'll say about Liverpool as my sort of overarching statement outside of the slot piece is that I think last season, when you have a player like Salah performing at the level that he was performing last season, where random game and he just scores 3, then the next week 2, then the next week 1, then he wins it late. I just think he's the sort of player that if you lose 22 goals in a league season, and that's gone from your squad functionally, right? He's just not at that level. And then you brought in players who, like Wirtz, don't have a natural output. Like he's not a GA machine.
Yeah.
Then you're relying on Isak hitting the ground running, and he just hasn't. He just doesn't look right. And then I just think that someone at Liverpool was not thinking straight around Ekitike and Isak, because Ekitike deserves backing, man. The guy is brilliant. He could have been the one. Done. No need for Isak. Then spend Isak money everywhere else. So, yeah, for me, Liverpool, I think it can be basically as simple as I didn't think they were great last year, but no one challenged them. And then Salah was having the season of his life, and he's not anymore. And so now they're back to what I think is more of a baseline. But yeah, what are we saying, Jude? Liverpool.
I kind of agree with your stocks falling in that Slot has to kind of adapt and do something which he isn't at the moment. Otherwise, it's going to keep on happening. I mean, we were talking about this early in the season where they were scoring a lot of late goals as winners.
Yep.
And I can't remember who said it, but someone said this is not sustainable, and it's caught up with them.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got a couple of late winners, and then Von was like, is Arsenal going to be able to keep it up? And I agree, late winners are not sustainable. They're not.
So yeah, I think I completely agree with you in terms of Slot needing to adapt in terms of the way he sets up. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna continue.
Agree. Anything on Liverpool, Balin, before we move on?
Yeah, no, he's definitely got to adapt. I think last week after United got the win over Liverpool, he made mention of how I don't know if he was taking a shot at Amorim or what, but he made mention about like our tactics and how we adapted our tactics to play against Liverpool. But I'm like, that's what you need to do.
That's
like,
tactics.
No,
that's what every manager needs to do, dude.
Every manager needs to do. That's what you get paid for, Slot. Yeah. So he's at the point where Tim is on the show where he said he's been riding off Klopp's wave, and that wave is slowly but surely starting to die down. It's time for him to grab the bull by the horns and say, you know what, put my foot down, get in control, and let's get back to business, because it's looking bad. A lot of players are getting found out. Van Dijk now is literally becoming a meme. Yep. Salah, every game, like it's bad. Like he's contributing next to nothing, literally every game. Even that goal that he scored, it's just out of nothing, snapshot, puts his right foot through it, and somehow that thing finds its way into the back of the net, you know? So Slot and Liverpool all just need to adapt. Like you guys said, in the beginning of the season, I thought they're getting all these results. They've got a good squad, and they're not even playing well. So I thought, you know, once it finally comes together, then it's gone. Like the league's done, you know? But again, I guess it was just a reflection of how good of a team he inherited last season. And that, like I said, that wave is starting to finally just die down.
It's funny how we do that as fans, right? We're like, if a team's playing okay, but they're getting the results and they have new players, we all are kind of like football manager mentality or FIFA mentality,
Yes.
which is like, you can only get better.
100%.
Whereas a lot of people in other sports would look at it and be like, no, if they're not playing well and they're just about getting over the line in the 90th minute, that implies they're not maybe as great a team as we thought, and the XG will level out. And I saw a stat the other day which was showing how I think in the last 8 games they've had like XG of around 11 goals or something and then scored 4. And then a Liverpool fan was saying, well, look, we're playing so well, but it's just bad luck. And then someone else showed the XG for the first like 7 games of the season, and it showed that they'd scored like 12 goals off like 5 XG. And it shows how XG, you can beat XG for a bit, but you will come back to baseline eventually because, you can't beat maths for forever. And unfortunately, very, very few people are actually better than XG or are consistently above the XG line. So interesting stuff. What are we saying then about Arsenal Palace? Because, okay, another set piece, guys. Set piece FC, ole, ole. Set piece FC, ole, ole. I love it. But again, we are 17th in the league for open play goals this season. So Arsenal is by no means an exciting club to watch right now in possession. But for me, guys, it's just another game where Palace are an informed team. We have to get the result. Once again, we don't concede. And now 3 goals conceded in the whole Premier League season so far.
In all competitions, bruv.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because of the Champions League. Yeah, you're right. 3 in all competitions. That is, the longer that goes on, the more sort of ludicrous that sounds and becomes, and does support the idea that like a good defense can win you points and win you league titles. Because, the attack was nothing to write home about. Let me put it that way. It was quite, Palace are great. I think they're really, really, really good. Did either of you guys manage to catch the game?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what I said in the preview episode. I think Mikel Arteta, the way he sets up. You guys did concede a few chances. Mateta was a little bit of a thorn in the defense. He was irritating you guys, but you managed to keep him quiet in terms of his goals. And another set piece goal. I think again another result of a champions squad. That 1-0, get that one chance in a set piece. You take the chance. Shout out to Eze for scoring it. There's a lot of players scoring against their old teams. Yeah, I was watching the preview press conference Mikel Arteta did, and he obviously there was a lot of questions around set pieces, and it kind of made sense what he said. He's like, set pieces happen so frequently in a game. Why would we not want to take advantage of that? And that's what they're doing, and they're getting results, and they're getting points, and they're taking advantage of that. So yeah, shout out Arsenal. It's also a thing of what we were talking about with Liverpool. Like, can it be sustainable throughout the season? But if you set up your defense like that, if you get the goal, you get the goal. Doesn't matter how many 1-0 wins you have throughout the season. It's the 3 points that comes from that win. And that's what you need if you're chasing a title.
Yeah, I agree. Balin, any thoughts on that game?
No, I think Arsenal's defense is just you guys have been immense at the back, man, and I think even the depth as well. It's not just Saliba and Gabriel. It's Timber, it's Califori, it's even that Mosquera guy that you guys from Valencia. He seems to be pretty good as well. So that back line is just looking immense, and I think if that back line stays fit, particularly that Gabriel combination, I don't see you guys leaking goals. Timber also just like immense, massive player, and then like Arteta said, like you said, Jude, set pieces are a part of football, and if you're intentional about that and you train that, it must reflect on the pitch, and it's clearly reflecting on the pitch for Arsenal. You play grassroots football, you play football as a child, you practice these things. Your coach will tell you, let's get the big man in the box. Let's get them in the box. Let's make something happen. So it's a part of a game. Obviously, as a neutral or even as a supporter of the team, you'd like to see 4-0s, 5-0 teams playing this expensive football, tiki-taka, whatever. And knowing the Arsenal, obviously, of old, under Wenger and stuff like that, we know the kind of football that they can play. But if a set piece is going to bail you out every single time, then so be it. It's an integral part of football.
It's getting to that point. I was watching the game, and every time Arsenal had a free kick or a corner, I'm like, oh shit, this is their chance. Like you feel something's going to happen. You just check Declan Rice setting up the ball for a free kick, depending on which side of the pitch it is. Yeah, it's
and like everybody in the team benefits from it. It's like Gabriel will go up, and then it's Trossard scoring at the back,
or Eze in this case,
or Eze scoring at the back. It's not just the big men coming up and then Saliba and Gabriel, netting. They come on and they just disrupt, and then the little guy at the back post says, "Thank you very much," and there you are, 1-0, and that's your 3 points. So, yeah.
I agree with you guys, and it's interesting to watch the league. Like, tactics does not stay unique to a manager or a club for very long. And wow, I mean, we started long throws late at the end of last season, I think in March.
Everyone does them now.
Everyone. And now Tavernier scored directly from a free kick, from a corner in the Bournemouth game. Guys, that is the delivery which Arsenal has been like focusing on for 2.5 years now. That like under the crossbar, just on top of the keeper, put them under pressure, and God, the keeper in that game flapped at it. I mean, most keepers won't be beaten like that. But I think the point is that clubs are going, well, why wouldn't we focus on the differentials that might mean in a game which was a 0-0 game, in all honesty, that you get the 3 points? Because, and the last comment on that is Arsenal have lost league seasons because we could not get past a low block. And so whenever a team played against us, we could slap them. But then whenever they decided to slip into a low block, it was horseshoe football all the way around the box, never getting in, just like this. And the set pieces are giving us a weapon that when we can't get through, we just wait. You just wait. And with a low block, you can't get out. And so you concede corners because it's deflections and it's clearances and it's this and that. And so it's just a weapon against low blocks in some respects. So very interesting stuff. One thing about the outcome of the result, which I think is interesting for the league, is we've got City versus Liverpool coming up, I think. Not next week, but I think the week after or just after the international break. Yeah. That's an interesting one because, of course, Arsenal will look at that and go, we've got a couple of winnable fixtures between now and then. And they play each other. More opportunity to get further ahead than is it 5 and 6 points? I think the gap is? No, 6 and 7. Yeah. On that note,
this might be it, Tim. This might be it. I don't wanna jump the gun, but the stars are starting to align ever so slightly. This just might be it.
I cannot get my hopes up until I see Odegaard walking toward the plinth where the trophy is and lifting it. Then I will believe. But until then, I've been burned so heavy the last few years on our epic collapses in spring that I'm going to wait and see what Arsenal does in spring because, I know Pep, man. They're going to go on like a 25 winning streak. Liverpool will solve their shit. And then Arsenal, I don't know. We'll see. We see. Balin, why don't you continue us off and have a quick chat about Man United and Brighton? Because I think, how are you feeling about the outlook? Do you think your supporter, whatever his name is finally going to get to shave his head?
He might just. There are 2 more wins and he finally gets a haircut.
Who are you playing on the weekend?
I'm actually not aware. I must check.
You're against Forest.
Okay, so then I do think we might be getting some.
Where's the game after that? Where's the game after that?
After that, you've got Spurs away.
Yeah, then it gets tricky. Then it gets tricky. Spurs gave Everton was an odd game. Everton played really well in that game, but Spurs just took it to them and 3-0.
Just as a random tangent, the fixtures next week are looking pretty tasty. We've got Spurs, Chelsea. We've got Villa, Liverpool. We've got Bournemouth, City. And then Arsenal is looking very pretty again against Burnley. So some decent fixtures or results there. But anyway, go on, mate. Keep going.
I almost don't know what to say. Like,
You're not used to this, hey?
This is strange territory. This is strange territory for me. Speaking about a team that's winning and has won more than just once.
Do you see anything different? Let me ask you a specific question then. What's changed? Why is it looking so much better, like a month later?
I think when Radcliffe made the statement that Amarim's not going anywhere, like get with the program or let it go. I think for me, that was quite an important statement that, look, the players, you either get with the program or you get out. This is the plan and this is the project and this is the way that the team wants to go forward. You either adapt, you sink, or you leave. I think that sent quite a strong message out to the squad, man. And I think from then on, literally from then on, we've just kicked on and guys are looking like it's all business, head down, and just playing football. I think with the personnel that we have with Mbeumo, with Cunha, with Sesko as well, last season, there were a lot of times where, particularly in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of a game, we would start well, and then a chance would fall to the likes of Garnacho, a chance would fall to Højlund, and they just weren't converting some of those chances. And ultimately, goals win and change games. I think now, with the kind of characters that we have in Mbeumo and Cunha who take those chances and give us a little bit of confidence and a little bit of that momentum, I think it makes a big, big difference. People are really starting to find their feet this season. I think the left for us lately, he's starting to look like the delict of old, the kid that had the promise all those years ago. And I think also, finally, Bruno also, he said something at the beginning of the season where he didn't want to be looked at as the savior of Man United. And I think he finally looks around now and he sees the likes of Cunha and Mbeumo and Sesko and Ahmad. I have to put in Ahmad there, you know me. And I think he finally looks around and says, you know what? I've got a bit of help here. We can actually put something together. So I think he doesn't have to get in the way as much. He can also allow the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha and all these guys that have come in to just do the job. And then another big thing, guys, the spine of your team is everything. Having San Lamens come into the team has been transformational. I think he's just breathed in a whole new confidence through the entire team. We're not as worried at the back end as we were previously before. And I think when you have players on the pitch, I mean, even when I play freaking 5-a-side or 6-a-side, when you have that one guy on the pitch where you're like, I'm not sure about him, and you feel like you need to overcompensate or you need to play for him, it kills you. When you can finally trust in the personality in your team and say, you know what, there's 11 of us out here, and I trust every man to do their job, it makes a world of a difference. So I think that's all it is. I think we're starting to see a bit more trust and finally some personnel that when the moments arrive, they're actually being capitalized on and people are actually just taking the chances. I think it's all it comes down to. We're just taking some of the chances that last season we weren't.
Yeah. And even earlier this season.
Screw Dalot, I have to put that in there. I can't stand that guy. But everything is going great except him.
Poor guy. Club's on the up and he's still getting dissed. Any other thoughts then on the game week, guys, on the Man United game or potentially on City losing to Villa? Any thoughts on your side on those games?
Well done to Man United. With the City game, I think it was bound to happen if you rely on one guy to score the whole time.
Yeah.
And it kind of caught up with them. Say again?
Single point of failure almost. Yeah.
Yeah, they need more outlets to get them the goals that they need.
Did you see the game?
I didn't. That's purely on the results and who didn't score.
Yeah. I watched a bit of it. I saw Sancho come on and off. I saw they subbed him in like the 30th minute, and I think in the 79th minute or something, he came off and he was.
That's rough.
But I think, Jadon Sancho, Mr. Freedom FC, I think it's curtains for that guy, bro. I don't know, man. It's
Did you see how pissed off he was Oof.
He was. But I think, sorry, but it just speaks to the kind of character that we had at Man United. That's it. They were rotten potatoes, unfortunately. Talented or not. Rashford's thriving now in an environment that's right for him. Sancho not thriving so much, but the likes of Hoyland and McTominay, you find you've got your people. Everybody in life has their place and their people, and I think that's what's happening for everyone except Sancho, which is good.
Yeah, I think Sancho's done. I think his mentality is wrong, and I think he got too much too soon in his life, and it has taken away the hunger for success that you need. Ronaldo actually referenced it, I think, in an interview a few years ago, didn't he? About Lingard and Sancho. I don't think he named them, but it was the implication was that
100% Greenwood as well. I think Greenwood, he was thinking a shot at a lot of the young guys in the squad. But Greenwood's he's something else. But that's a.
But yeah, I think Ronaldo made a really good comment there. Where he was like, people in my generation, look how many of us are making 38, 39, 40, 35 in our careers. Watch, you won't see them playing elite football at that point in their career. And I'm looking at Sancho and I'm like, Ronaldo, you could have just said 25, mate. You don't need to go to 35. Like, Sancho ain't going to be doing anything by the age of 25 at this rate. So
look at Lingard as well. I mean, yeah. Exactly.
All right. Just before we go then, I think just a shout out to Bournemouth, guys. You all wanted to do it, but yeah, to have them so high up in the table in game week 9 is incredible. So big shout out, because I think a lot of us were all on the same page. Yeah, we were skeptical.
Because their defense got ripped apart. Their defense that was so good last season.
Piece by piece.
Yeah.
And hey, if there's one manager.
Looking at Otawara guy, what's his name?
Otara,
that guy. But he's doing well for Brentford.
He is.
Yeah.
That was something else. I think that was something around wages or contract or something that he got annoyed around. But I mean, to lose Dean Huysens, Kirkes.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Huysens and Kirkes.
Zabanyi, the centre-back to PSG.
He went to PSG, yeah.
What an incredible manager Iraola is turning out to be. And it is not going to be long. It's not going to be long, guys. I think a year and a half, he will be at a very big job, whether it's in the Premier League or elsewhere. Yeah.
Slot. Arne Slot.
Hey, maybe. If he cannot turn this around, it could be one of the most significant ups and downs in a managerial career we've ever seen in the Premier League. Like winning it in your first season to then signing the most expensive players on the market and then maybe just having it all collapse around you. Interesting stuff. Let's end it there then, guys. Let's do a quick guess the player. I'm going to call out nationality and then 2 clubs he played for. I know of one player. There's probably others, but anyway. And this one, Balin, I'm giving you a little bit of help here because it's Man United themed this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
Dutch. Played for the national team. So not just Dutch. Played for Man United and PSV.
Memphis Depay.
Jaap Stam.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
No.
Damn it, there were so many.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Jaap Stam actually played for PSV. I think he played for Ajax.
I thought Stam played for Ajax because I actually have Ajax as the one I was going with first. And then I scribbled them out and put PSV instead. Because I thought, hey, shit, De Ligt is Ajax. And you just get him immediately.
Yeah.
So, there we go. Cool. Well,
wow.
Balin.
That means we all get a point? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't think Stam played for PSV unless I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right because I don't think you can go from playing for Ajax and then ending up playing for PSV later on.
Yeah.
Let me just double
check.
check.
It just don't work like that, mate.
Oh, he did. You're right.
Oh, I get a point as well. How's that?
He played 1 season at Ajax at the end of his career, but he actually was created at PSV.
At PSV?
Yeah. 3 seasons, 76 appearances. Well done, Jude. So yeah, we all share a point. Even when you're wrong, you're right. I hate it. Guys, thank you so much.
Oprah Winfrey show, yeah.
The Oprah Winfrey show. All right, let's call it there. Balin, Jude, Thank you for joining me. And we made it work from a hotel. Hey. All right. Big games this weekend. We will have a preview episode, of course, on Friday morning. So do look out for that. I will be traveling to South Africa as well on Friday. So I think I'm going to make sure to podcast as I'm flying. And then it's a nice place, Joburg. Yeah. And then I'll see some of you guys in person. But anyway, thank you for listening if you made it this far. And as always, ciao for now.